Good morning and welcome to the weekly briefing at Wichita State University. I'm Zach Gearhart, Director of Government Relations for Wichita State. We hold these weekly briefings in an effort to keep you, the public, better informed about changes happening at Wichita State University. First, we want to wish and hope that everybody had a great summer and wish and hope they have a great semester. We hope you take advantage of our resources, amenities, full roster of fun events, whether you need a tutor, want to join a student group, participate in an internship, or even relax in a hammock between classes. Maybe not today, weather's not so good. The university is working hard to provide an environment where every student can make the most of their Shocker experience. When it comes to better serving the needs of students and the industry that drives our economy, the development of new and innovative programs is key. Throughout the academic year, we will highlight WSU and WSU Tech's efforts to create degree programs that are responsive to student and industry demand, often developed in tandem with business in an effort to increase social and economic mobility. One of the newest degree programs available at WSU is the Bachelor of Applied Science in Workforce Leadership and Applied Learning. The program was developed by the College of Applied Studies and optimizes opportunities for students graduating from two-year programs, such as those offered by WSU Tech and other community colleges. To pursue a bachelor's degree, there are only a few programs like it in the country that also take into consideration credit for prior learning for skills acquired in the workforce. Graduates are prepared for leadership positions in the public and private sectors, human services, for-profit and nonprofit agencies, and many others. The program is grounded in two core principles found in WSU's strategic plan: applied learning and interdisciplinary collaboration. Another degree of note is the College of Engineering Bachelor of Science in Product Design and Manufacturing Engineering. This hands-on program immerses students in the entire process of designing and producing products in a cost-effective and efficient way. PDME graduates are in high demand by a wide range of employers. In fact, WSU's PDME students currently enjoy a 100% job placement rate, and many are gainfully employed before they finish their degree. Simply put, if you're interested in engineering and want a high-paying, high-demand job, you should definitely consider the Product Design and Manufacturing Engineering program. In addition to full degrees, we also offer additional ways to gain skills and credentials through our increasing number of badges and certificate options. In fact, we've recently added an additional 14 certificates and 29 badges to our rapidly expanded offerings. Badges are self-paced online courses conveniently designed for students and working for professionals looking to develop new skills and gain new competencies related to their careers. They can also be stacked over time and applied toward degree completion. Students who enroll in a badge course by Monday, September 9th, 2019 will have the tuition and fees waived for one badge course for the fall semester. To learn more, visit badges.wichita.edu or call 978-7579. Certificates are groups of courses, often from different disciplines, that address a specific topic which can be completed on their own or as part of a degree program. We currently offer more than 30 graduate certificates and more than 20 undergraduate certificates. For a full list, visit wichita.edu/certificates. As the state's most diverse public university, we are continually looking for ways to increase the number of underrepresented students in Shocker Nation while tailoring curriculum and support to better meet the changing demographics of our student body. Our efforts continue to pay off with strong growth in the College of Engineering over the past 5 years, including a 44% growth in female and Hispanic engineering students, almost 54% growth in African American and Native American students, and 53% increase in racially and ethnically underrepresented students. The university also continues to improve opportunities for women in senior leadership, with women currently holding 6 out of 10 WSU dean positions. It is also taking an even bigger step to increase the number of women and minorities among its faculty with a nearly $300,000 grant from the National Science Foundation. The grant funds a 5-year project to improve the university's hiring of women and minority faculty, particularly in STEM fields. Included among the many benefits of having a more diverse faculty is the ability to serve a growing diverse student body and surrounding community and to support greater innovation. This is reflected in the recent hiring of Adele Torres Rivera, the first hire for our Latinx Studies area located in the College of Applied Studies. Latinx Studies will allow the university to better serve our increasing number of Latinx students through the hiring of educators with expertise in Latinx needs. Last spring, you may have seen the numerous pieces of colorful lawn furniture that popped up around the campus as part of placemaking efforts to make the campus more enjoyable and inviting for everyone. Now, WSU has an additional colorful attraction for you to check out in the form of a staircase mural located on the south side of Clinton Hall, created by fine arts major Sarah Mayos and supported by a grant from the Knight Foundation. The mural is titled Dreams and Wishes and symbolizes WSU as a place that has helped countless people turn their dreams into reality. We want to congratulate Sarah on a job well done and thank her for adding her creativity and inspiration to our placemaking efforts. Also, keep an eye out for additional art on the electrical boxes near the food truck plaza. Fine arts faculty member Haley Leinber is currently adding her own creative touch to this infrastructure in the form of colorful faces. You can check out the first of her creations near the Lovelocks Pod. To keep up to date on campus placemaking, visit wichita.edu/discoverwsu. Finally, we'd like to give you a quick update on Brayburn Square. If you've been waiting for the Fuzzy's Taco Shop to open, your wait is over. The Brayburn Fuzzy's officially opened on Monday, with the first 50 customers winning free tacos for a year. From all of the Fuzzy's fanatic and Shocker Nation, we say, welcome to campus. We're excited for this additional dining option and late-night destination open to the community. In addition to tacos, Brayburn Square is expected to add a second restaurant this fall. Journey East Asia Grill will serve Asian fusion in a 2,840 square foot space next to Ameritrust Credit Union. We'll keep you up to date when more details become available. And if you haven't heard, on Monday, the university announced that the Hyatt Place Hotel will break ground next week on the Innovation Campus. The groundbreaking is set for 10:30 a.m. Thursday, August 29th on the 19th Street just west of Oliver. Immediately following the briefing, everyone is invited to attend. The hotel is expected to be ready for occupancy in summer 2020. We look forward to the role this important amenity will play in drawing prospective students, their families, Innovation Campus visitors, and event attendees to campus. And now, I'd like to introduce Dr. Rick Muma, WSU's provost, to talk about university priorities and exciting initiatives coming up.
Thank you, Zach. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here on this rainy morning. It's a lot cooler. It's, 100 degrees the last couple of days, so excited to be here to talk to you all. I'd like to start off by just talking about the semester. We started this week and have a lot going on campus, and many students are trying to find their ways to class. And so if you happen to see any students wandering around, please get with them and find out where they need to go and help them out. So they need every bit of help that they can possibly get at this particular time of their career here at Wichita State. It's the first couple of weeks that really make a difference in whether students stay here and continue to succeed at the university. So please smile, have a good interaction with these students. They're the reason why we are here today. So on Friday, speaking of students, we have our annual Clash of the Colleges event. And this is the 5th annual Clash of the Colleges. This is the ultimate battle to determine which college gets bragging rights for the year, and the highly coveted championship banner, which whoever wins that gets to proudly display that in front of their college. Clash has become one of the largest campus traditions, and students' interaction and with faculty and staff is just a positive experience. So if you have an opportunity to attend, it starts at 4 o'clock on Friday at Cessna Stadium. The Barton School of Business are the defending champs. I'm assuming there will be a little bit of competition going on, particularly with the Dean of the College of Health Professions and the Dean of Engineering. They're very competitive in terms of Clash of the Colleges. So that's very exciting, and I'll be there to help kick that off, and so hope to see you all there as well. So just a little bit, and Zach has mentioned some of these items in his remarks, but just to talk a little bit more about what's going on in academic affairs and what you can expect this next year. So last year was a lot of successes. We had some challenges with the death of President Bardo, but we were all able to pick up where he left off and worked on the priorities that we'd established last year around shared governance, enrollment and workforce development, research, and faculty reward structures. And this year, for those of you who may have attended the annual kickoff event last week, we've added two additional priorities. And so unless you've just totally been asleep at the wheel, you'll notice that we have a lot of changes going on at the university and a lot of construction projects, new facilities coming online. So it's time for us to look at our master plan again and see what that might look like in an updated version. And then also a major focus is on infrastructure around IT, making sure that we're focused around transformation and growth in the future of the university. So you'll hear more about these two items going forward. And then we also added community engagement, which is an intentional effort to make sure that we're not forgetting the surrounding community around Wichita and paying attention to some of the needs that with all of our growth, how we can bring in some of that involvement from the local community and the folks that live in that area. So you'll see some more intentional efforts around community engagement. I do want to focus on a few things, elaborate a little bit more on what Zach talked about. So just as a reminder, last year we had another record enrollment growth of 4.7% increase. And again, our largest freshman class, out-of-state student growth, online student growth, and also growth around working professionals who engaged in taking badges and certificates and those sorts of things. So we're expecting some gains in some of those areas this year. We'll be able to announce our enrollment for this fall after the 20th day, which is about 3 or 4 weeks from now. So stay tuned for that. Zach talked about the additional certificates and badges that we've added over this last year. We've also added 3 new degree programs, and this is on top of adding 14 other degree programs and certificates over the last 2 years. And so this growth is unheard of, and we haven't seen that record number of new programs coming online since we entered the state system in the mid-60s. We've also hired 4 deans. Dr. Andrew Hippisley, who's the new dean of Fairmount College Liberal Arts and Sciences, he started roughly a year ago. Dennis Levacy, who was the former dean of our graduate school, he is now the dean of engineering. Dr. Larissa Jenin, who is the new dean of the Barton School of Business, and Dr. Colleen Pugh, who is a new dean of the graduate school and associate vice president for research and technology transfer. We're very excited about these new deans. I'll talk a little bit about that here in a second, elaborating a little bit more about what they'll be doing. May be of interest to some that we have started looking at salaries and faculty salaries. It shouldn't be any surprise to people that our salaries for faculty are much lower compared to our peers significantly. And so this past year, we focused on a faculty salary study to try to see if we could make some adjustments. And I'm pleased to say that this year, because of our budget situation, we were able to invest an additional $453,000 into faculty salaries, particularly those faculty who fell below 80% of the median, to try to get them up above 80%. That was the first installment. We're hoping to make a second installment this next year, and we're also working on a similar study to do the same thing for our staff at some point in the future. You may have heard that we've have passed another benchmark in terms of research, and we are now have surpassed $136 million in funded research, and that's on top of breaking that record last year of $100 million, so very proud of that. And so speaking of research, in partnership with my office and the deans and the vice president for research, John Tomlin, we've made some major investments in the research area that's aligned with industry needs. And as I said before, we hired a graduate dean, but she's also the AVP for Research and Technology Transfer, and she's an internationally recognized polymer chemist. And for those of you that may not know or don't remember, that's a major connection to the advanced manufacturing composite type research. So we're very glad that she'll bring that expertise. She's actually going to have a lab, and her main priority is to not only further her own research in that area and help us further our efforts in that area, but also model that behavior and help faculty start developing their research programs over the next several years. Zach mentioned some hires, and the last couple of years our faculty have worked on this concept called cluster hires around a couple of different areas. One is data science and one is Latinx studies. In terms of data science, we've made some key hires this last year in engineering to help us move that forward. You know, you may think of engineering as making widgets, and we will always be making widgets and parts and those sorts of things, but engineering and the STEM fields are really transforming to more of a technology-based field, and that's more of a knowledge-based economy that we're in right now. And so it's important for us to also transform our manufacturing into more technology-based. And so we're excited that we're making some key hires focused around data science. And then also the faculty came forward with the proposal of a Latinx focus. Our largest growth of students is among Hispanic student population, and we know that we need to do additional things to help support that population, but there's also some research that also could be done. So we've hired that additional faculty that Zach mentioned before. We've also hired a new director of the Regional Institute on Aging, who's also a professor in human factors psychology, and she has expertise in low vision, and which complements some of the other research that's going on in that area. And then we have purchased a new high-performance computing cluster, a different kind of a cluster, not a cluster hire, but a cluster of computers that will allow for a more powerful computing environment for university researchers in need of this type of computing power. So that's a major development and will help us move forward our research program. One of my major priorities has been to continue providing opportunities for women in senior leadership academic positions across the university, and Zach touched on this in his remarks. And so to this end, I'm very happy to say that 6 out of 10 of our deans are now women, and all of the associate vice presidents in my office are women. And in this light, the past year, my office has supported a group of faculty and administrators led by Dr. Jan Toomey in engineering, and their efforts to apply for a National Science Foundation Advanced Program grant to increase the representation of women and minorities in the sciences and engineering. And this goal is to contribute to the development of more diverse science engineering workforce. We received communication about 3 weeks ago that we were approved for funding, which now helps us start the planning process to further diversify our faculty and staff. So all of these accomplishments, different efforts that we're focusing on are really going to shape the future of our institution. They're aligned with our strategic plan, and I expect even more things like this to happen, more exciting things like this to happen this next academic year. Be happy to stand for any questions if there are any. All right, turn it back over to Zach.
Thank you, Rick. Any questions about university update that I touched on earlier? For those I can't answer, Joe Kleinsasser in the back will pitch hit for me, so anything I can answer. All right, seeing none, as always, we like to close with the vision and mission of Wichita State University, which is to be internationally recognized as the model for applied learning and applied research, and the mission to be an essential educational, cultural, and economic driver for Kansas and the greater public good. Thank you for attending, and we'll be here next week at 10 a.m. for the weekly briefing.